हेलो एवरीवन एंड वेलकम टू साइकोलॉग्स। पिछले 100 सालों में ऐसी कई रिसर्चेस कंडक्ट हुई हैं जिन्होंने मेंटल हेल्थ को समझने के लिए काफ़ी डिफरेंट व्यूज़ प्रेजेंट किए। प्रिवेंशन, जो कि शुरुआत में साइकोलॉजिस्ट का मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव हुआ करता था, वो वर्ल्ड वॉर II के बाद हीलिंग एंड रिपेयरिंग सिम्टम्स तक ही सीमित रह गया। इसी पेसिमिस्टिक एंड नेगेटिव अप्रोच को साइकोलॉजी में डेफिसिट बेस्ड अप्रोच या फिर डिसीज मॉडल कहा जाता है, जो कि उस दौरान एक डोमिनेंट मेंटल हेल्थ पैराडाइम बना। पर हेल्थ क्या है? WHO के अनुसार हेल्थ इज मोर दैन जस्ट द एब्सेंस ऑफ इलनेस, यानी स्वास्थ्य सिर्फ बीमार ना होने से कई ज़्यादा मतलब रखता है। इसलिए सिर्फ उसे ठीक करने से परेशानियां हल नहीं होंगी। आज की ज़रूरत है एक ऐसी स्ट्रेंथ बेस्ड अप्रोच की जो इंसानों की अच्छाई और उनकी ताकतों पर फोकस करे। सिस्टमैटिकली बिल्डिंग कॉम्पिटेंसी एंड एनहांसिंग ह्यूमन स्ट्रेंथ्स साइकोलॉजी का मेजर फोकस बने। इस थिंकिंग को समझकर मार्टिन सेलिग्मैन ने की शुरुआत पॉजिटिव साइकोलॉजी की। अपने 1998 के प्रेसिडेंशियल स्पीच में उन्होंने देश विदेश के साइकोलॉजिस्ट को साथ मिलकर काम करने के लिए प्रेरित किया और मनुष्य की पॉजिटिव एस्पेक्ट्स को यूज़ करके उन्हें सब्जेक्टिव, इंडिविजुअल एंड ग्रुप लेवल पर फुलफिलिंग लाइफ जीने में मदद करने के लिए प्रोत्साहित किया। ये पर्सपेक्टिव मेजरली 3 प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ हैप्पीनेस पर बेस्ड है, विच आर पॉजिटिव इमोशंस, एंगेजमेंट एंड मीनिंगफुलनेस इन लाइफ, जिससे लोगों को उनके अंदर की अच्छाइयाँ देखने में मदद मिले ताकि वो बेहतर और सेटिस्फाइड तरीके से जीवन व्यतीत कर सके। हालांकि ये सोच कम्प्लीटली न्यू नहीं है। ह्यूमनिस्टिक पायनियर्स लाइक इब्राहिम मैस्लो और कार्ल रॉजर्स ने इससे मिलती जुलती स्टडीज़ पहले से ही पब्लिश कर रखी हैं, विच आर ऑन सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन, पर्सनल ग्रोथ एंड सेल्फ वर्थ। ऐसे ही इंडियन टेक्स्ट से डिराइव्ड एक स्कूल है इंडियन साइकोलॉजी, जिससे पॉजिटिव साइकोलॉजी काफ़ी कुछ सीख सकता है। इंडियन वेदों के सारे श्लोक और टेक्स्ट हैप्पीनेस को एक सब्जेक्टिव एक्सपीरियंस बताते हैं, विच इज़ नॉट द एब्सेंस ऑफ अनहैप्पीनेस, जो इंसानों के लिए प्राइमरी मोटिवेटर है। एक ऐसी मानसिक स्थिति जिसमें लोग दूसरे के साथ इंटरकनेक्शंस बना सकें, फ्रीडम महसूस कर सकें टू चूज फॉर देमसेल्व्स एंड रियलाइज देयर चॉइसेस। फर्दरमोर, तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद के लेखों में आत्मा या चित्त के खुशी 5 कोश या 5 लेयर्स में समाई हैं, और ऐसी ईस्टर्न थॉट ट्रेडिशंस में कई तरीकों की हैप्पीनेस के बीच फ़र्क भी मेंशन्ड है। इंडियन हिस्ट्री में हैप्पीनेस की इंपॉर्टेंस कई कॉमन सैल्यूटेशंस में दिख सकती हैं, जिसे हम जिंदगी में यूज़ भी करते हैं, जैसे खुश रहो, स्टे हैप्पी। इसके अलावा इंडियन टेक्स्ट में मेंशन गुणा थ्योरी, द स्टडी ऑफ कैरेक्टर स्ट्रेंथ्स इन पॉजिटिव साइकोलॉजी से काफ़ी मिलती जुलती है। ईस्टर्न थॉट ट्रेडिशंस जैसे कि हिंदुइज्म, बुद्धिज्म, जैनिज्म हैव लॉन्ग एडवोकेटेड द मेंटेनेंस ऑफ अ बैलेंस which should be by accepting that suffering is a part of life। पर ये बिलीव पॉजिटिव साइकोलॉजी के थ्रू रिसेंटली पॉपुलराइज हुआ है, जिसमें सेलिग्मैन एंड शहार ने एक्सप्लेन करते हुए कहा है कि नेगेटिव फीलिंग्स उतनी ही इंपॉर्टेंट है जितनी आर पॉजिटिव फीलिंग्स। Therefore, positive psychology की research is intended to supplement and not replace human suffering, weakness and disorder। रिसेंटली इंडिया में एक स्पेशल इशू ऑन पॉजिटिव साइकोलॉजी पब्लिश हुआ बाय साइकोलॉजी स्टडीज़ इन 2014, जिसने इंडियन साइकोलॉजी एंड पॉजिटिव साइकोलॉजी के बीच कॉमनैलिटी सामने लाने की कोशिश की एंड उन एरियाज़ पर फोकस किया जिसमें ये दोनों एक दूसरे से अलग भी हैं। ऐसे ही कुछ concepts have been studied by Indian researchers to form an understanding of positive psychology in Indian context। वेल-बीइंग एंड रिलेटेड कंसेप्ट्स में काफ़ी चीज़ें ऐसी हैं। वेल-बीइंग में सब्जेक्टिव वेल-बीइंग, हैप्पीनेस, इमोशनल वेल-बीइंग, क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ एंड लाइफ सेटिस्फैक्शन भी इंक्लूडेड होती है। इस पर हुई एक ग्रुप ऑफ स्टडीज़ पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट को वेल-बीइंग का इंडिकेटर बताती है। नाथ एंड प्रधान ने एक स्टडी यूजिंग कंसेप्ट्स फ्रॉम फ्रेडरिक्सन्स ब्रॉडन एंड बिल थ्योरी एंड एस्पेनवॉल्स सेल्फ रेगुलेशन थ्योरी भी की to understand how positive writing affects well-being and physical health, जिसके according positive emotions are important for growth and development of human beings। पॉजिटिव राइटिंग में लगातार एंगेज होने से हमें अपनी इन्वायरमेंट की बेहतर समझ मिलती है, विच में लीड टू सेल्फ रेगुलेशन। इनफैक्ट higher levels of positive affect increase our psychological resilience, which in turn improves physical health and psychological well-being. Positive emotions enable flexible cognition, which increases perception about self-capacity and the situation. Swamirath and Rao summarize various researches that positive emotion physiologically downregulate lingering negative emotions, broaden momentary thought, which not only improves the way people cope during crisis but also helps build physical, social, intellectual and psychological resources for an individual. Khosla and Dukania also found that happier individuals, both men and women, have higher emotional intelligence than unhappy women and men. Another group of studies looked at positive physical and mental health as well-being. For instance, Peltzar and Pengpid testified that positive health behaviors were associated with happiness in university students and suggested that these relations could be bidirectional. This is similar to Limborski's, King and Diener study that reported that there is a bidirectional relationship between happiness and success. Peltzer and Pinkpid further observed that greater social support, personal mastery and higher socioeconomic status lead to greater happiness. On the same note, Yadav, Kaushal, Agarwal, Saini and Sharma believe that the interconnection between mental and physical health can be used to harness positive feelings through exercise and physical actions to reach goals in order to enhance them. Through this, we can understand that positive emotions can act as buffers against negative health outcomes. Some researchers have looked at the meaningfulness in life as an indicator of well-being. This idea originates from Seligman's theory of authentic happiness and flourish. Research in India has shown that meaning in life and a sense of coherence are associated with higher well-being. Contrarily, there is also evidence to indicate that the search for meaning in life leads to experience of negative effect and lower levels of well-being. Pinjakar and Mehrotra found that variables that predict meaning in life are more effective in nature rather than cognitive, such as being loved, accepted and trusted by significant others. They also observed that women experienced more meaning from relationships, whereas men do from personal growth and having prestige in society. Biswas and Diener also observed that slum dwellers in India were more satisfied in their lives as they derived more meaning from their relationship with others. Life satisfaction has also been studied as a synonym of well-being. Singh and Jha found that grit, positive effect, happiness and life satisfaction are all significantly positively related and that experience of negative effect decreases life satisfaction, happiness and grit. Mukherjee and Manjali suggest that on the basis of their finding that judgments about life satisfaction are lowered in presence of money where there is ambiguity and uncertainty about future. Religion and spirituality are at many times considered to be paths to achieve well-being. Ramesh, Sathian, Sinu and Raj found that Brahma Kumari's Raj Yoga meditation significantly increases an individual's self-satisfaction and happiness by enhancing the positive thinking in them. This may be explained through Pirta's observation that exceptional mental states such as transcendence have significance for psychological well-being. But Peltzer and Pengpid found that religiousness and religious activities did not affect happiness of students. Also, Kumar and Kumar equate Karma Yoga as defined in Gita with flow. Flow is defined in positive psychology as an intrinsic motivational state that gives pleasure through engagement with work. Experiencing flow leads to an increase in life satisfaction, positive effect and satisfaction with self for both genders while decreasing the experience of negative effects. Kumar and Kumar suggest that Karma Yoga may be used to reduce depression, related anxiety and apprehension associated with work. In terms of character strengths, a strength is the ability to think, feel and behave in ways that allows a person to have optimal functioning to attain value outcomes. Seligman explains how well-being can be attained by increasing strengths. The 24 character strengths proposed by Peterson and Seligman were listed as being ubiquitous across cultures. In India, of these, only few strengths have received attention, like leadership, gratitude, and forgiveness. Singh and Chaubisa commented that there could be cultural differences in the development, prescription, and propagation of character strengths. Singh mentions that most village girls in India value strengths that are different from the VIA strengths, such as being dutiful, empathetic, respecting elders, believe in God, and patriotism. Also, girls and boys possessed all the character strengths, but the former were higher on forgiveness as compared to boys. A higher level of forgiveness and gratitude leads to higher levels of subjective well-being among adolescents. Contradictory findings show that well-being among adolescents is not necessarily predicted by presence of gratitude. But in both studies, no differences between adolescent boys and girls on forgiveness, gratitude, and subjective well-beings were found. The findings are explained by positing that in Indian culture, children are trained right from the beginning of their socialization process to forgive and to express gratitude towards others regardless of gender. There have also been several positive psychology interventions in India. These interventions may be understood as any intentional activity of method based on first, the cultivation of valued subjective experiences, second, the building of positive individual traits, and third, the building of civic virtue and positive institutions. In India, positive psychology interventions have so far been attempted in the areas of education, mental health, and rehabilitation. Singh and Chaubisa conducted a positive psychology intervention using techniques like the 3 good things and the best possible selves exercise on students and found a significant increase in self-management, timeliness of task accomplishment, and having written plans for the change. Chaubisa developed a web-based intervention to increase the well-being of college students. The Feeling Good and Doing Well intervention program developed by Mehrotra, Chaudhary, and Gupta have shown increases in subjective well-being, psychological well-being, self-efficacy in emotional regulation and goal pursuit, and reduction in psychological distress among Indian college youth. It focused on strengths, goals, best possible selves, and relaxation strategies among others. Nath and Pradhan have suggested that positive writing can be used in education to help students regulate their emotions and deal with stress by developing psychological resilience, in counseling to enhance self-regulatory behavior, and in human resource management to creative problem solving. The experience of positive emotions through positive psychotherapy promoted psychological resilience and positive emotional gratuity among individuals. Another intervention by Lakshmanan and Mithili on early adolescent girls included, among other techniques, yogic relaxation, training on perseverance, developing positive values so as to set new goals and purposes for life and generate new ideas about themselves. It led to an increase in resilience among students in the experimental group. Yoga intervention studies by Pandit and Satish on pre-adolescent children reported improvement in health. Positive psychology techniques of sharing their life stories by looking at it from a new and positive perspective, keeping engaged in activities like dancing and sports, writing about positive experiences and strengths, using their strengths and writing about 5 things they are grateful for on a daily basis helped in the rehabilitation of trafficked victims. The positive psychology practice in India has seen some growth. Other than the special issue posted by Psychological Studies on Positive Psychology, the Indian Journal of Positive Psychology has also been dedicated to further research in this area. Furthermore, few books on positive psychology like Positive Psychology in the Light of Indian Traditions and Flourishing Positivity in Young Women, an Intervention Study, and many book chapters have been published. Additionally, some institutes including IIT Delhi, IIT Hyderabad, NIMHANS, Pondicherry University, University of Delhi are now offering courses in positive psychology at various levels, which was not popular a decade back. However, more rigorous effort is required in popularizing positive psychology in India. Shahar points out that if this limited knowledge is not shared, more people shall not be interested in this, and the building of empirical database required to further the area will not take place. Conferences with the theme of positive psychology and well-being are being regularly held across the country and are contributing to spreading awareness. The National Positive Psychology Association also has been formed with the vision of enhancing positive psychology research. NIMHANS, a prominent mental health institution in India, has a Flourish clinic and a positive psychology unit along with clinical psychology and psychiatry departments representing both the strength-based and medical approach to mental health. While psychiatrist N. Nibhinani from AIIMS Jodhpur observes that most professionals are unaware of positive psychology and therefore do not use it in personal and professional practice. There is also evidence that some mental health professionals are beginning to incorporate positive psychology in their practice. This was verified by Dr. M. Mehta from AIIMS Delhi, who has experienced positive psychology being accepted and useful in educational settings, as well as psychiatrist N. Nibhinani, who used positive psychology concepts occasionally during interactions with media, students, patients, and at community lectures. Counselor M. Morris corroborates that many therapists are now realizing that positive psychology can help clients, especially with depression. She personally uses it and sometimes also advises clients to maintain a gratitude journal. These, along with the recent interest in positive psychiatry, indicate that steps towards building a positive psychology community have been set in motion. Positive psychology, although relatively new, has grown rapidly and gained support from the psychology community all around the globe. In the coming times, it can be expected that positive psychology and its practice will help a great deal to the people to see themselves in a new light. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and thank you for watching.